Thanks for downloading another segment from the Best of the Classic Metal Show. The Classic Metal Show is heard live on Saturdays from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, exclusively at www.theclassicmetalshow.com. And now here's another piece of Classic Metal Show history on the Best of the Classic Metal Show.
The Classic Metal Show.
All right, that's Motorhead, brand new stuff from their album Motorizer, with a song called When the Angel Screams. And this guy may not be screaming, but he's beating the hell out of the eagle in the background. It's the one and only drummer of Motorhead, Mikkey Dee. Mickey, how you doing, man?
I'm okay, buddy. And I do actually do a lot of screaming on stage. At Lemon Phil, you know?
Well, Mickey, you guys are just finishing up, I guess, the kickoff for the Motorizer touring run with a great tour being out there with the Metal Masters, one that I had the privilege to catch in Chicago, and wanted to start off by saying, you know, great job as always, man. You guys just continue to kick ass.
Yeah, this tour was good, I'd say. You know, I'm a little bit skeptical normally about these shows we do when we're kind of open at the sheds and stuff, because a lot of people kind of hang out till the main act is coming on. But I have to eat my shorts on this one. We had a pretty much full house every night we played, so that was really good, you know.
At this point, Mickey, don't you think that a lot of that, especially with that tour, was just the fact that every band on the lineup in the world of metal, is a headliner?
Yeah, in itself it was. I think it was a great little package that went around, you know, and they really struck, you know, it was great. I mean, the Testament song, they were rocking out big time, and I thought they played great every night, and all the bands really delivered on this one, you know. Sometimes you have the odd band that kind of shouldn't maybe be there and stuff, but not this time. It was great.
Well, Mickey, the brand new album is called Motorizer, and not that anything that you guys do is ever bad, but this one certainly does step it up more than a notch or two. Just seems like this one you guys really came out to be firing even harder and faster than ever before, man. Was there like some added incentive to be heavier than you've been in the last couple of records?
I don't think so, really, because I think the last three albums here with Cameron Webb, Inferno, Kiss of Death, and this one, kind of stands out a little bit on their own together in a way, you know. Same as I thought that when Howard Benson did three records with his Bastard, Sacrifice, Overnight Sensation, that they kind of stood out in themselves. We took a good step forward with those records, and I think these kind of, you know, are not similar, but they go hand in hand at least. You know?
When you go in to do a record these days, you know, I mean, obviously the industry has changed where, you know, you're just not going to sell a whole lot of records. Nobody is. It's just the nature of the beast. What is it that drives a band like Motorhead to continually go back to the studio, punch out 10, 12, 14 new tunes, you know, instead of just taking it to the road? Because, I mean, you and I both know Motorhead is the kind of band that could tour on the history of the band probably till Lemmy dies.
Absolutely. No, see, the whole thing with that part is that we write these songs and the albums are for us, you know. A lot of people think that, you know, I'd say most bands maybe write to sell records. And yes, I would be lying if I said that we didn't, but most of all, we write this stuff for us. We like to be creative. We like to come out with a good album. But if you like it, it's more a bonus than we don't base our existence on if you're going to like it or not. Because we write this stuff for ourselves first and make sure that we really like it. And that's the only way to do it, at least for us, you know, because the day we sit around a table or whatever and try to either be a cover band on ourselves or listen to everybody's suggestions, then it'll be over, you know.
Sure. Well, Mickey...
So it doesn't matter, really. I mean, I'm very, very happy that this album is doing really good, and actually the album sale has picked up for us compared to the other years. So that is great, but I got to see it as more as a bonus because, you know, the day we don't sell one record or I'm doing an interview with you and you say that, yeah, this album probably one of the crappiest records you've heard, you know. That, yes, of course, it'll be a little bit of a disappointment, but overall, I love the song, so maybe we wouldn't release it. Or you know, if we didn't, we recorded what we like, and we write what we like first, you know.
Well, with Motorizer, man, the one thing that it just seems like you guys have done better than, I'm going to say, in the entire history of Motorhead, is the production value on this is just as good as it's ever been for Motorhead. Do you guys see that as well?
Yeah, I think so. But again, I think you got to go back at least 2-3 albums here. If you want to talk production, I think Cameron Webb did a great job on Inferno. It's really full and nice sounding, and same as Kiss of Death. But overall, yes, I think we're taking a little step forward, you know, and we're not supposed to, we don't want to change our sound in any way. We just want to kind of update it, if you will, you know?
Sure. Well,
it has to be 2008, not 1978.
Sure, I understand that. Well, Mickey, we've had hundreds and hundreds of guests on our show, the Classic Metal Show, over the years, and your names tends to come up an awful lot when we talk about drummers. I know Bobby Blotzer said that you were like the best drummer he'd ever seen, and I know King Diamond said that you were the best drummer of all time. You know,
wow.
You know,
that's a good words right there.
What do you think of yourself as a drummer? Or do you not even look at yourself as a performer at this point?
Yeah, but I don't walk around thinking that way. I kind of judge my drumming and where I'm at from tour to tour, really, because I just want to be as complete as I possibly can, and that was the reason. If I'm going to go back a little bit and say, people ask why I left King and stuff, and that was one of the reasons. I felt really not a very good drummer. I was good at what I was doing, but I was very narrow as a drummer, and when I started playing with Don, he was perfect. He was just straight ahead, you know, breaking the chains, rock out, quarter notes. He was very, very good high school to go through, if you will, you know.
Right.
And then I realized that I mean, my heart's in the heavy section of hard rock music. So, and then when we finally got together with the boys here, it was perfect. But no, I don't walk around thinking that way. And you know, I'm very happy that I feel on tour that I am still keeping it up. Put it that way. That's more concerning to me, that I can play good and not have to work my ass off to just be average. You know?
Sure.
I really want to, you know, be out there and show that I'm still good, you know?
Right. Oh, absolutely. Well,
if you talk about who's the best and stuff, I don't think. There's so many good drummers out there.
Oh, sure.
Musicians overall, but, so, you know. I just hope I could be one of them, and people enjoy what I'm recording, and especially when they come and see me live, because live I think is the most fun for me. I'm really a live drummer, you know. I like to hit it hard and be very energetic, and it should be fun to look at me play too, you know.
Well, Mickey, having seen you guys on the Masters of Metal tour, one thing that was abundantly clear to me as somebody that's seen Motorhead numerous times now was that both yourself and Phil Campbell had more energy than I think I've ever seen you guys on stage, man. Especially Phil. He was running around like a maniac.
Yeah, you know, everyone kind of got to be a front person on their own instrument, you know. A lot of people, not a lot, but I do get the question, you know, how it is to play with Lem, such a strong front man, and don't you and Phil kind of feel that we're in the shadow of Lem and stuff? And I go, no, it's the opposite. I'm very happy that we play with it, that Motorhead and Lem is such a strong, he is such a strong front man, and he's got the status that he has. Because, I mean, Phil got to step it up, and I need to be a frontman on my drums, you know. So I think we are three good front persons in this band. And You know, I can't see any weak link anywhere, you know?
And that's always the interesting thing, and I mean, I'm sure you guys know it, is that, you know, when everybody says Motorhead, they instantly say Lemmy, almost like they're the same word.
Yeah, of course, and they should. You know?
Has it ever been difficult for you or Phil or even, you know, Fast Eddie Clark or whoever back in the day, you know, do you think that's ever been an issue for people, you know, to deal with the fact that, well, it is Lemmy?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know what people think about it, but for me and Phil, it's not an issue. And, you know, I know he wasn't for Verso, and I can't speak for Taylor and Eddie, but for us, it's not an issue at all. I say it's the opposite. You know, I think it's great. You know, I'm glad we could have had a week's swap now. You know, people, I mean, I heard other bands and stuff where they sound great and stuff, but yeah, the lead singer is kind of, yeah, a little goofy or whatever.
Right.
There's always something with someone, you know. And I'm sure people have opinions about each and one of us as well, but overall I think we all deliver, and that's what's important here, is that, you know, there's nothing that can change what the daily show can change Phil's mood, how he's going to be on stage, or Lemmy or myself. They all deliver, and I like to be, I'm glad I'm a part of that. And there's a great lesson to learn that for a lot of musicians, that you got to go out and deliver every day. It's not hard to do a great show at Madison Square Garden on Saturday night with 600 guests and the bus and the hype and everything around it, but then Sunday you might be playing, you know, a small little village. You still got to go out and do the exact same show and deliver as much, maybe even more, you know?
Sure.
And that, I think, this band stays very strong. I think we do a good 7 or 8 every night instead of going up and down like, you know, a 10 and a 2 and a 4 and a 7, you know.
Right.
The average is very, very high. And that, I think, is the most important thing. And, you know, Phil delivers and Len delivers, and so do I.
Excellent. Well, Mickey, one thing that, you know, for our show and with our fans and everything, and obviously I know you've seen this a zillion times and heard about it if you haven't seen it, is that movie Airheads, which kind of really gave Lemmy, you know, legendary status just from the whole Lemmy is God type of, you know, that thing. What do you guys, as guys that are in the band, you know, think of that? Do you think it's silly, or do you think it was really helpful for the band, or what is your perception within Motorhead of that movie?
Well, first of all, I think we wrote a really good song, Born to Raise Hell, you know?
Oh, yeah.
That right away got picked up by 20th Century Fox, I think. And then, you know, what happened around the movie is great. I mean, I'm grateful for all that. And I know Lev and Phyllis as well, and Verso at the time, you know, but, you know, the Lemmy is God thing, and I mean, it's not like we walk around thinking that way, you know, at all. And I know for sure that Lem doesn't. So I think it's okay, you know. Exposure is exposure, and for a change, some good exposure.
Absolutely, man.
There's too much shit out there as well. So when something, you know, pleasant like this comes around, and same goes when we do the WWE thing, and even the SpongeBob track we did a few years back. I mean, all that stuff is a little extra. That's a little bonus on top of the daily touring that we do. And so, yes, it's great. You know, we enjoy that. And I think this band deserves all the exposure and success that could come to us, you know, because it's a very hard working band, you know.
Now, having been in the band for, God, it's been almost, it's almost been 20 years, right?
17 years.
So having...
I'm the baby. I'm the new guy, you know.
You're the new guy at 17 years.
I'm the new guy.
And what's ironic about that is I don't even think that's half of the life of the band, is it?
No, it is. The band is 33 years old.
Okay, so just barely half, but...
I'm a little over half.
Are you still surprised, you know, coming in halfway through, are you still surprised at just how unbelievably strong and consistent Lemmy is night after night after night? I mean, he is a rock.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised to that, but also, played with him for a long time, and I've known him for, an additional 10, 12 years before that. I'm not so surprised, because now I know how, obviously, how we work and stuff, and the inside it's really, really hard work. It's not like we just show up and are good,
Sure.
This takes a big toll on all of us, and like Lemmy used to say, we really don't have a plan, and I totally agree on that, but there is some kind of plan, at least, with in the direction that we go, that it is hard work, and Lemmy just don't walk on stage and be good every day by itself, so we have to work on it like everybody else,
It's your job, but it's a fun one, right?
It's a great job. It's not a job. I say I never had a job in my whole life. This is a hobby. I haven't worked a day in my life.
It's a good place to be, man, definitely.
I'm one of the lucky ones.
Oh, yeah. Well, the new album from Motorhead is called MOTORIZER. What are the touring plans for the rest of this year and then for 2009?
Well, now we're going to finish up here. We got another 2.5 weeks to go, I think. We do in the U.S. And then we start in Ireland the 31st of October, which is my birthday.
Excellent.
Halloween. And then we do Europe up till Christmas. And I think, I can't say for sure, but I think we start off with South America and Asia and possibly Australia with next year.
Sure.
And then we're into the festival summer in Europe. And hopefully we got to come back to U.S. next year sometime.
Well, Mickey, one more quick one. Just you've worked with outside of Motorhead, you've worked with a number of big bands, and I'm curious, who was the most difficult to work with? Halloween, Don Dokken, or King Diamond?
I don't know. No one's really difficult. It's what you do, what you make out of it yourself. If you want to be difficult, it's going to be difficult. But of course, the circumstances around. With King, I'm the original guy, kind of, and that was I'm a part of that band, and also with Don Dokken. So that obviously wasn't that difficult in one way, and then just fly in to do Halloween's record, that was pretty hard because I had a very tight time schedule on to do that one. So when you do these little off things, yes, that can be pretty hard sometimes, but with a good professional attitude, which I hope I have, and a couple of beers, you can go through anything.
Right on, Mickey. Well, like I said, the new album is called MOTORIZER. Of course, it is Motorhead. And Mickey, I got to ask you what is known as the traditional classic metal show question, and this one should mean something greatly to you. We've actually asked this to over 300 bands now in the last 4 years, and I'll ask you, and this one, like I said, should mean something. How has Lemmy from Motorhead influenced your career?
How Lemmy influenced me?
Yeah.
Well, he taught me something that wasn't on the map before, really. When Motorhead first came about, I said, I think my exact words would have been something like, what the hell is this,
Right.
Or something in that way. It could have been a little heavier. But you realize very, very quick that you were missing it when you didn't have it, You missed it. It was like that, the friend you have that you kind of didn't notice first, and then when a person has left, you go, where did he or she go,
Right.
It's like, it's just a very unique person, a unique band, it was unbelievable. So, yes, he taught me how to play dirty. Put it that way.
Very cool. Well, Mikkey Dee, as a tradition here on the Classic Metal Show, we always let the artist pick a closing song and tell us a little story about it. So what would you like us to end the interview with?
Oh, God. Yeah, that's a hard one. But I'd like to hear something old, nice with Deep Purple, maybe.
Okay.
Because they were my first inspiration. I was 7 years old when I saw them first time live, and something good, maybe play Burn or Strange Kind of Woman or something.
All right, then why don't we...
Burn is a blaster. I like that.
All right, then here it is. It's Deep Purple with Burn right here on your Classic Metal Show.
Thanks for checking out the Best of the Classic Metal Show. You can tune into the Classic Metal Show live every Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, exclusively at www.theclassicmetalshow.com.